Well, on their website, the Prince Hall Masons, that is the black Freemasons. You see, there's always been a separation of the whites and the blacks. And here on their own website, they campaign for Barack Obama. If we get a list, and I show you here a partial list of famous Prince Hall Freemasons, we find many black names on it. There is, of course, Sugar Ray Robinson, the famous boxing champion, but there's also Julian Bond, the national chairman of the NAACP, Thomas Bradley, mayor of Los Angeles. There's the black revolutionary during the 60s, Eldridge Cleaver, and it goes on and on. Reverend Jesse Jackson is a member of the Harmony Lodge in Chicago, Illinois, no less. There's Kwesi Mfumi of Baltimore, Maryland Lodge. There's Congressman Charles Rangel of New York of the Joppa Lodge, number 55. And Reverend Al Sharpton, New York City civil rights leader, also a Mason. And then there's this man, yes, David Patterson, the current governor of New York. They say he's legally blind. Well, maybe in more ways than physically. He, too, according to the internet, is a Freemason. He was raised as a Freemason in Boyer Lodge number 1, located in Harlem. Another Freemason is Hugo Chavez, president of Venezuela, a socialist. Here he is giving a Masonic handshake with his comrade, pal, Barack Obama. Why do I use the term comrade? Well, because that's what Hugo Chavez calls him, Comrade Barack. This is an artist painting of Chicago's Masonic Temple. Look at what a huge building it is. Many of the buildings and the architecture of the city of Chicago, Illinois, where Obama hails from, is Masonic in origin, including this all-black ebony building. And notice nearby the Egyptian Masonic obelisk. The all-seeing eye that's on our dollar bill, of course, is a Masonic symbol. And then if we really want to know who the God of Barack Obama is, maybe we should go to a Masonic publication. Maybe we could turn to the New Age magazine of September 1950, page 551, in this article written by a Freemason, C. William Smith, entitled God's Plan in America. Is it also Obama's plan in America? Well, here's what the plan is all about. Mr. Smith wrote, God's plan is dedicated to the unification of all races. Well, of course, the Jews do not agree to that because they refuse to be assimilated into the Gentile race. But Mr. Smith continues that God's plan, that is the Masonic God, is dedicated to the unification of all races, religions, and creeds. All religions and creeds. This plan is dedicated, he says, to the new order of things. It is to make all things new. Now we have the reason for Obama's change. A new nation, a non-sectarian religion. In other words, a religion that doesn't believe in just one God. A religion that has already been called the religion of the great light. The goal, he says, is to unfold the new age of the world, a novus ordo seclorum. Now, one of the things the Masons do is take an oath to protect their Masonic brothers. And this has been very convenient for Masonic politicians throughout the decades. From Ronayne's Handbook of Masonry, page 183, we have the oath, the statement of belief of Masons. It says, you must conceal all crimes of your brother Masons. And should you be summoned as a witness against a brother Mason, be always sure to shield him. It may be perjury to do this, says the Masonic Guide. It is true, but you're keeping your obligations. So what is Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Charles Rangel, the Rothschilds, yes, the Rothschilds, according to the book 10,000 Famous Freemasons, Mayer Amschel Rothschild, the first baron of the Rothschild clan, was a Mason. All Rothschilds are Masons. And what is required of them but to conceal all the crimes of their brother Masons, even if it means perjury. The Jewish Tribune, back in 1927 in New York City, gave us an idea of what Masonry is all about. Masonry, said the Jewish Tribune, is based on Judaism. Eliminate the teachings of Judaism from the Masonic ritual and what is left? Freemasonry, thoroughly Judaic. Greg Hallett, in his book How to Take Over the World, page 92, says the leaders of the Freemasons were the Illuminati, and the Illuminati were the Rothschilds. Manly P. Hall, 33rd Degree, in his classic textbook, The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, page 78, says something very interesting about Freemasonry. He says, when the Mason learns that the key is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands. The Masons seek the seething energy of their master, Lucifer. Remember the words of Jesus, no man can serve two masters. That's according to John Quincy Adams, one of the most brilliant presidents in American history, 6th president of the United States. In his book, Letters on Freemasonry, he exposed the Masonic sect. He said that it is a tool of Lucifer. And he said more. John Quincy Adams warned that Masonry ought forever to be abolished. It is wrong. It is a seed of evil, said the president, which can never produce any good. In my own book, Codex Magica, I noted that Robespierre, the butcher who cut off so many heads at the guillotine during the French Revolution, was a Freemason. Adam Weishaupt, Order of the Illuminati, founder, was a Freemason. Napoleon, who brought hundreds of thousands to battlefields to be slain, was a Freemason. Stalin, who according to Solzhenitsyn, the Nobel Prize winner, was a Freemason, and he killed up to 66 million Soviet citizens. Mussolini, the Italian dictator, was a Freemason. Truman, who exploded 2 atomic bombs and perhaps unnecessarily killed tens of thousands of Japanese, was a Freemason, as was Roosevelt. Ariel Sharon, called the Butcher of Lebanon, was a Freemason. Bill Clinton, of Monica Lewinsky fame, was a Freemason. Fidel Castro, who tortured so many and put so many innocent people into jail cells in Cuba, a Freemason. I might add, Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel, yes, a Mason. Barack Obama, a Mason. And no doubt, the Antichrist himself will be a Freemason. Now, we see that Barack Obama is a Freemason. How did he become a member of a lodge? Who chose him? Is Freemasonry, in fact, a Jewish sect? Well, we have found out that is exactly the case. And again, we are faced with the mystery. We already know then, he is a Mason. He practices Jewish ritual, Jewish religion through Freemasonry. Yes, we're finding out a lot about Barack Obama.
Communist wall has crumbled. Every iron curtain is torn. And 10 times it seems to have tumbled. Every brotherhood is reborn. Yeah, a word of caution, a word of warning. Some stormy days start with sunny mornings. Prophecy tells us a coming chaos. Come on, Armageddon, come. The 7 seals and the 7 trumpets. Yeah, come on.
Commerce. We are standing in the birthplace of modern America. The advantage we have today is we're in the middle of a holiday week on our way to a school vacation, celebrating Patriots Day with Good Friday yesterday, Holy Saturday today, Passover going on this past week, Easter tomorrow, and then Patriots Day on Monday. And we are lucky enough to have SAR here, Sons of the American Revolution, here celebrating Patriots Day with us today. We also, though, must acknowledge that while we have an opportunity to learn about history today and see, as every school child in our city will over the next several weeks, the other thing that I want to mention very quickly are the sponsors. And I like General Battles indicated, get a morning email from Eddie Johnson. I look at it and I think to myself, where does he get the time to send these emails each day? But he is a source of information and advice. The Parting Ways Project Committee, I want to thank very, very much. Well, Wayne Barboza, your remarks were far more eloquent than I could ever express them, and we appreciate very much you being here with us today.
I've been looking for, well, first, I appreciate the kind introduction, Mayor Lang and President Manning, and also the Director Bringle, and officers and men from Parting Ways, Eddie Johnson and Mr. Barbosa. Ever since I heard that we were going to have a joint effort between the Massachusetts Society Sons of the American Revolution and Parting Ways Project and the City of New Bedford and the Whaling Museum, it's been an exciting event for me. And the reason for that is normally when I'm giving speeches, it's like singing to the choir because I'm talking to an SAR, Sons of the American Revolution audience. However, in this case, I have in front of me a motivated general audience, and it's quite a thrill. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I hope you still feel that way in 10 minutes from now. Later, we have these genealogical requirements to get in the organization where you have to prove with third-party documentation that father, son, so forth, mother, son, so forth. They might have scrutinized it and found some flaw and cited that flaw as the reason. Now, we have studied every historical document we could find, including Du Bois's extensive papers of 93 reels of microfilm. And we are unable to determine the real cause for such a short membership period. The point of all this is to provide background for an announcement. This week, the Executive Committee of the Sons of the American Revolution passed this resolution. Resolved that the National Society, Sons of the American Revolution, place Du Bois's original application back in our files.
According to some sources, over 5,000 black Americans fought in our revolution. 5,000. Now, according to some sources, Washington's army in its aggregate over the 8 years of the revolution was only about 50,000. So what does that mean? That means about 10% of Washington's army was black. 10% of the army that secured American independence was black. I think that at least 10% of the SAR should be black. So in anticipation of Roland becoming President General, I asked him, would you consider, when you become President General, forming a committee to elevate awareness of black, Indian, and women patriots? And I'm very happy to say that Roland did just that, and he named me chairman. Bill Clotworthy, sitting right there, is our vice chairman. I'm happy to tell you that during the time that I've been chairman of this committee, I have sponsored for membership in the SAR 5 black men whose patriot ancestors were also black, and Roland swore them in. Those 5 men and their the patriot ancestors of those men, they were black, but they were free black. The significance of Tom Burghardt is that he was a slave. He was a slave who, as a result of his service in our revolution, secured his freedom. And I think that there's very few things about our revolution that are as profound as a slave being granted his freedom because he fought for all of us. Now, Roland and I conspired on a surprise for Jack Manning and Bill Battles. And I'd like to take this moment to commend both Jack and Bill for breathing such new life into the Massachusetts Society and making it one of the most vibrant state societies in the National Society. But Roland just mentioned restoring W.E.B. Du Bois' application, and he asked me to sort of supplement the research of the original application and prepare an enhanced version. So I've got a copy of that here, and our applications require the signatures of 2 sponsors, first-line sponsor and second-line sponsor. I'd like Jack Manning and Bill Battles to come forward to sign as the sponsors of W.E.B. Du Bois. The Sons of the American Revolution, when you join, you get this nice little 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that serves as your member certificate. But for a fee,